Oh, here we go. All right, you good?
Yeah,
All right, it's recording. All right, we're just gonna rock with this. All right, let me.
yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Broad Street Line. I am Roy Burton. Alongside me, as always, my tag team partner and a man who just put his deposit down on the Bloodline 12s, one Chris Domingo. Mr. Domingo, how are you doing? As always, as we
Oh
say during this
man,
pandemic, this air quote Saturday morning, sir.
I thought you were gonna say put down a deposit on the
No,
deluxe edition of
no,
NCAA College Football 2-5 because and it's not just Photoshop, ladies and gentlemen. The
no.
official, two covers, two, not just one, two covers, the regular cover. I mean, like I am becoming a prisoner of the moment because I am slowly getting excited to see this game because this is we are like I can't remember another thing that has been hyped up this much, and it's come back. Usually, like I don't know when like something comes back, like the NFL 2K5s, like I don't know, it just is in lore. But we are going to see a product, and is it going to be possible for this to be a bag? Like if they just really just put like I don't know teams and like the same principles of the old NCAA onto a Madden video game, would it be a good game? It like does it matter if it's a good game?
If you give me NCAA football 14 with updated rosters and better graphics, you're gonna sell 2 million copies easy. Like this kind of thing's gonna go sell off the shelves. Yeah, as Chris Domingo mentioned, the release date and the official covers were recently released for NCAA football 25. There's multiple editions of this game. There's the quote unquote base version that's I believe 69.99. There's I think there's like a deluxe edition that's 99.99. And if you, I saw this deal. This is a pretty good deal because a lot of people are going to buy both games. You can get the Madden Deluxe Edition and the NCAA Deluxe Edition for $150. That seems like a really good deal if you're into all that like Madden coins and Ultimate Team and all other good stuff because you get
all I
both
need
deluxe
to know
editions.
is, all I need to know is, can you import the rosters? That's all I'm
Oh yeah, yeah,
asking.
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah. The
like
rosters will be
I
importable. The
when I
draft
see
classes
this
will be
unveiled, like
importable.
because I feel
Yeah,
it's like is this really crept up on us? Like it's almost video game season. It's like less than 2 months,
two
like
months.
less than 2 months away from NCAA, and 2.5, like not even 2.5 months because it releases early August. So mad. I feel that like I don't know. This could be a very I don't know a domino effect for Madden because Madden has just been kind of the punching bag of like sports video games just because like I don't know it's basically for better or worse no for worse been the same game for the last 5-6 years maybe seven
Correct.
I don't know maybe with this you get like a like a energy influx to Madden who knows but I feel like I don't know like kudos to EA man they finally listened to the fans they're gonna let those that those Denard Robinson people finish their story so congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we finally get the end, or not the end, the next chapter in the NCAA story. NCAA coming out July 19th, I believe, for those of us who get the regular version. Obviously, early access for those who get the other version. You said it crept up on us. One thing that did not creep up on us, ladies and gentlemen, is the NFL schedule release. It was actually pushed back a week. Usually, the NFL would release a schedule a week ago, but due to whatever circumstances that we'll probably never know, they pushed back the schedule release for a week, and we finally got our version of Christmas in May, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got the dates and times for all of the games that the NFL teams are going to play this season. So we will break that down as we always do, break down especially the Eagle schedule as we always do, and talk about some of the highlights of the NFL schedule as well. We have some NBA news to discuss as well as the playoffs continue on. Phillies keep their run on, and the king and queen of the ring have an update on that. And Chris Domingo, before the show, had a very special update for those who are interested about AEW TV ratings. Maybe we get to that. Maybe we don't. It's a weird
No,
situation going on
no,
there.
you know what, Roy? I feel that like I don't know. We've officially like you know how like the beginning of no one really cares about the beginning of the NBA season. I
Sure.
don't. I feel like I don't know. We are reaching that point with WWE on top of the insane amount of injuries that are happening. I mean, like it really feels like the end. No, like I said last week, feels like the end of an action movie. Everyone's hurt. See see it in June for Money in the Bank. It's pretty wild. So thank God we have football and some basketball. I feel like I don't know, like it's just unfortunate that like I don't know, we are just getting like I don't know a a couple of just dud series in the NBA. But I mean, you had like, and I'm not even sure if Knicks Pacers is good anymore. It's like a mash unit.
Yeah, it's a. We'll talk more NBA specifically, but yeah, it's been. I don't know if it's a good series, or we've had good runs of games. Because again, the end of Game 3 in Knicks Pacers was really good. The end of some of these games, like the end of the games, especially with the Denver Minnesota series, the ends of the games have been good. But I don't know if these series, I would call these series necessarily that good. But yeah, it's been weird. And the first round was better than it typically has been. So maybe that probably kind of leans into like, all right, well, the second round is usually better than the first round, and that hasn't been the case this year.
And I am slowly getting towards, because I know I'm a very old school person. Like if players in the 70s and 80s or 90s did it, the players in this generation should do it. They need to reduce it. They need to reduce the games, not just because of like boringness. It's because no one can get to the start. No one can get to the finish line anymore. This is like, I mean, I think we've seen it for the last 6 or 7 years, at least for the 5 years. You have players, not just some players, a lot of the good, better players dropping like flies. I mean, can you remember an elimination game where like half the team didn't play? In the instance of Cleveland, that just can't happen. It can't. Like, I don't care if they were playing the Boston, like that. Like, it's crazy, and they need to figure out, get some doctors in here, figure something out, because this is really like you basically punt a lot of the regular season to get to the playoffs, and you know what happens? The playoffs are kind of like, I don't know, like are anticlimactic because no one's playing.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs, at least for the last several years. I'm not sure why, because again, we have all these advancements in medicine and all this other stuff, but it's really been a war of attrition these last like few years. It's who is the healthiest team in May? Because we saw, like you said, we saw with Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland had a puncher's chance in that series before everybody started getting hurt. And I mean, the Knicks, I'm not sure how far they're going to be able to go against the Celtics, because as Thibodeau said, like their starters are where their bench guys, or the bench guys are now their starters, because you're down like multiple starters on the Knicks. And again, they're running their starters out there for 44, 45, 48 minutes a night. So yeah, it's really, we have to kind of figure out a better way to have these guys healthier in the postseason. But we'll talk some NBA in a little bit. We're going to start talking about football. But before we do all that, we want to thank you guys, as always, for tuning in and listening to us wherever and however you do so, whether it's on 106.5 FM, WPPM LP Philadelphia, or wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, YouTube Music, Google Play, Spotify, Spreaker. Just do a search for the Broad Street Line, download us to your phone, your iPad, your MP3-enabled device. Listen to us at home, take us with you on the go. We are a very, very accessible show. And speaking of accessible, you can follow us on Twitter /X. Chris is at SKD215. I am at the BS Line. We got some fills this weekend. We got some, I'm trying to think, what else is going on this weekend? Not a whole lot. Oh, no, we got the PGA Championship. Hopefully Tiger Woods is still in the hunt. We're
not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore, are we?
Yeah, no, I haven't tweeted you Tiger back. He was 1 under through a couple holes today.
Oh, man. I mean, it's getting real painful to watch him golf. Like, I mean, I just feel like, I don't know, this isn't like a question of effort. I just feel like his back, like, I keep forgetting he almost died in that car accident. Like, it's not even the incident like from 10 years ago or like everything before that. He almost died in that car accident.
Yeah, like he physically just can't get around the course anymore, and I mean, like and this is one of the longer courses on tour. It's like close to like 8,000 yards. Like my man just can't walk the course and like hit the ball 70 times without his back like going crazy. So like he just physically can't do it like the way he used to do it anymore. So I'm done. Hopefully, again, by the time people hear this on Saturday, hopefully Tiger Woods he made the cut, and hopefully he's still slapping it around. But like the man's not gonna be able to do it for 72 holes. Like he's just not gonna be able to hold up and compete against guys who are just kind of hitting the ball like Xander Schauffele and Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. Like he just can't physically compete with those guys at this age and this medical situation. But hopefully we have a really entertaining PGA Championship to watch this weekend. Last weekend of the Premier League season as well. So for you soccer fans out there, enjoy all the games on Sunday. We got the end of the Premier League season, but we got the beginning of the NFL season coming up in a couple of months. Ladies and gentlemen, the schedule was released earlier this week. Thank you, Roger Goodell. Thank you, 32 teams, for finally putting the finishing touches on the schedule. And I know we probably had to wait an extra week or so because they were negotiating exclusive deals with like 17 different carriers for people to watch these games. If you want to watch all these NFL games,
folks. Oh my God, I'm not gonna like. I feel that I don't know. This is the ultimate test of the flex of the NFL. Because frankly, they're just saying, you know what, you need to pony up more money for us to thrive more. And that's basically it. And they, through their studies and just basically saying that we've kind of owned this country, frankly, that saying, you know what, there are going to be more people than not that pony up the $15 or whatever. I don't know, because I mean, and I feel like even if it's just for that month, because a lot of people will just I don't know, even cancel it for I don't know. How hard is it going to be to get a subscription to Netflix on Christmas Day? I guarantee you they're going to break the network. This is, sure. I am truly interested because I feel that I don't know, football has a complete vice grip on this country. And no matter how many times they jam it down our nose, we just say, you know what, more. I just need to know. I don't think it's now because people will buy Netflix like me. I don't even have Netflix. I don't know, but I know someone made a good point. WWE's going on there soon. So it's going to basically, I'll make the rationalization. Oh, instead of January, you know what? I'll get it in December. I don't that is that. And they'll just have more money. It's one of the few enterprises that just doesn't see a drop ever. Didn't see a drop during the pandemic. I mean, I guess it saw a kind of a drop during the pandemic, but they still made a ton of money, and they're only making more. They really are the gold standard on how to kind of. And there are factors. I mean, the betting is obviously I don't know. You're gonna tell someone, you know what? I got all this Christmas money. I ain't gonna watch these games just because out of principle. Nope. They're gonna be you know what? I just got a Netflix gift card. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cash that some bitch in. So you know what? We're gonna watch these two terrible games.
So I'm gonna say something that we've said several times on the show, and I think it applies here. Again, if you got a problem with any of this stuff of the NFL kind of splintering all these games on all these different outlets, okay, all right, you can vote with your wallet, right? You can just not get these things. It's fine. And again, it's for the NFL fan who wants to watch all the games. Obviously you have to have cable or you need cable because you need ESPN, but you need ESPN Plus because you got to watch that game. You need Peacock. You need, if you want to watch, all the games, you need a Sunday ticket. Now you're going to need Netflix. Now you're going to need Amazon Prime. Again, if you're going to get tired, if you don't want all this splintering to happen, all right, don't subscribe to these services. I don't know how many people probably subscribed to Peacock, last year for that playoff game. You know what? If you really are upset about this, say, you know what? I'm just not gonna watch.
But it's that kid straining meme where you, as much as you want to do it, you're not going to, I don't know, punish yourself if you by not watching. You'll say, you know what? Screw it. At the very end, you'll be screw it. Because frankly, people want to be entertained, and football is one of the most entertaining forms. Football is one of the most entertaining forms of anything. So let's do it. So that's why they can. I don't even know the price of this Amazon deal, but it's probably ridiculous. I mean, for 2 games, this is
the Netflix deal.
Yeah,
I think it's $150. I think it's $150 for per year for the
2 games.
So Netflix. So Netflix. For those who don't know, Netflix has purchased the rights to broadcast 2 NFL games this season from the NFL. They have Well, it's this season and for the next 2 seasons. This year it's Chiefs versus Steelers, Ravens versus Texans, and I believe the price tag for this year is $150 million for the rights to broadcast those 2 games exclusively on Netflix. So if you want to watch Christmas Day football, you're going to have to. Well, at least I think those the only 2 games on Christmas. I believe they are.
Yeah.
If you want to watch Christmas Day football, you gotta get Netflix in order to watch the game. So look, and like you said, it makes sense for Netflix because again, people are going to rationalize buying Netflix, whether it's going to be in December, December for this, but people are going to say, hey man, you know what, I gotta watch my football, it's Christmas, I got a little extra cash, let me pony it down for these games. Probably won't cancel it, like people didn't cancel Peacock, and now you got a Netflix subscriber
like because these companies know the human brain. They do. Like I don't know. They know that you know what, this dude Sean, whatever his name is, will I don't know, at the last minute buy I don't know, and he's probably one of these I don't know, crazy people that don't like ads. So he'll buy that I don't know, that ad free John. And you know what? Things will happen. It's the holidays. He'll just forget about it. He's got that John on auto pay. I'm telling you, I don't know, this is, and I think the streaming companies have realized this. As many shows as you want to make, the Ozarks, the Narcos, this is where the money's at now. And I don't know, I think it's shown that I don't know, there just aren't a lot of money making episodic shows, not many, and they know, and they say, you know what, for the it's a tough bill to pay, but this will get advertisers in, this will get viewers in, and I think you'll see it. I think you're starting to see Netflix become a player in this live event genre.
Yeah, all the streaming services, if they haven't, they're going to, start doing the live sports stuff because again, it makes the most sense. I mean, we've already seen earlier this week, we saw Disney Plus air a couple of live WNBA games. Netflix. This is going to be, I believe, this is going to be the first live football. Well, obviously, live football event. I believe they might have had a UFC event earlier before. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, you're going to see all these live streamers. Obviously, Apple's been in the game for quite a bit. It's going to be very interesting to see, how, more splintered and kind of these different leagues are going to become. We saw next month there's going to be a baseball game, a Phillies game on Roku, the Roku channel, which I didn't even know existed, at 11:35 in the morning on a Sunday morning in June, like a baseball brunch or whatever you want to call it. With the Phillies at the end of next month. So, you're going to have to start going to a lot of different places to kind of consume the sports, the sporting content. But the thing is, again, like I said, with some of these, at some point, and like Chris said, it ain't going to be soon because, we're all sheep and we all love the NFL. And the NFL decides they want to put a couple Christmas Day games on, and I'd rather watch that than watch Thunder Celtics. And I'm going to subscribe to Netflix. So
I think that it will happen for the NFL soon, or eventually. But I think for fans, and even for every fan, that the days where you watched every Phillies game, every Sixers game, it's over. You can't. I don't know. Unless you are the biggest no. And at some point you're going to be you know what, 1 out of 82. Or 4 out of 82, or whatever the number is, you will come to an acceptable number and be like, you know what, I'm good. I'll find something I like. Because before it was because there were days where people would scream bloody murder, be like, oh my God, I can't watch this Phillies game in June because it's on some, I don't know, it's on some other channel or the ones that were on Apple TV. I'm telling you, at some, I think that those are the moments where you're just you know what, it's one game. I'll see you tomorrow, Phil. I'll say it it's that. I think for the NFL, it's harder though because there's so few where you're really kind of, I don't know, mentally pressed to be you know what, let me pull the trigger on it.
And the NFL is a little different because the NFL, you're always, if you're in the local market, you're going to get the game regardless.
Yeah.
So if you're in Baltimore and the game's on Netflix, you're going to be able to see it on, I don't know, your ABC affiliate or whoever,
You'll still get the Brazil game.
You would have got the Brazil game whether you had ESPN or didn't have ESPN or Peacock. I'm sorry, I think it's a Peacock game.
Yeah,
whether you have Peacock or not, we're all going to get the Brazil game. Just by throwing the antenna up on a wall. So all that stuff. NFL's a little bit different. Baseball, there's I don't know what the number is now, but there's at least half a dozen Phillies games where you just won't get it on
Yeah.
local television if you just, like it ain't simulcast on NBC Sports Philadelphia if it's on Peacock or if it's
Yeah,
on
and I
Roku,
think
or if it's
those
on Apple.
people and those people that don't have that app, some of them will say, you know what? Let me ask my buddy for his password or I don't know,
Right.
username. Some people will just be like, I'll be on Twitter, or I'll do something. I feel like it's one of those things now where you will live without watching a certain number of games and you'll be okay. Before that wasn't the case. I think that's that kind of acceptance that, you know what, I'm not going to see everything.
Yeah, we'll live. It's fine. We can miss the Roku Phillies game. We can miss
but not football. Not football.
Yeah,
we need to watch. No, that is. I'm telling you, that is that is. I mean, that's the crazy part. Is I don't know. It's crazy. I really would love to see if anyone would be all right, I'm not gonna get Peacock, period. And they probably have a playoff game, but I'm not gonna get it. I feel there are probably few, but there aren't enough to move the needle to where these companies are you know what, let's stop doing this. This is the trend. Just be prepared to be accepting of watching less games.
Whatever Netflix pays for these games, they're going to make, I don't know, some multiple of it by people subscribing to Netflix to watch these games. That's it. I mean, if they didn't, then they wouldn't do this, but they will. Well, no, they probably still will because they're probably trying to build a sports portfolio. But again, you can vote with your wallets, you can vote with your eyes, and choose not to do it. I'm gonna wind up watching most of the stuff anyway because that's how I get down. I won't buy a Sunday ticket, but other than that, I was in Philly, I probably would.
Say there was I don't know, say there was a Roku streaming service and they had, I don't know, one Eagles game that you couldn't get, I don't know, it was I don't know, black, you couldn't get it on network television. Would you and say it was $14.99 for the month? Would you pay the $14.99?
Who they playing? No, seriously, who they playing? It really matters.
The Chicago Bears.
No, probably not. If the game doesn't matter and the Bears, I'm good. I could go without. We've all been in cases where we just weren't able to watch a game, whether we're out of town or busy or something like that. I can miss an Eagles game. It's fine. I'd like to see it, but
no. See, this is where I don't know. I've been able, because I was one of these people that watched from 1 to 11 for, I don't know, 20 years. I think over the last few years I've picked my spots. I mean, there have been days where I did the 1 to 11 shift. It's very few now. I mean, I'll catch an Eagles game, I'll catch a nap, and I might catch, if it's a good Sunday night game, I'll watch the first half, and if it's good, I'll watch the rest of it. But I feel I don't know, me personally, I've lived with it's just, I need to watch every Eagles game. If I would it is I don't know, I would need to watch the replay. That's how, because I enjoy watching Eagles football. I like analyzing it. I like looking at stuff. I mean, it's really the few. It really is the sport that is still, and wrestling, that has still got my undivided attention during the season.
And I respect it. No, I respect it. Yeah, I'm not quite there. I used to be there. And look, that's not to say I won't try as hard as possible to do it. But if you told me I had to pay $15 to watch it, Eagles Panthers week 14, I'm nah, I'm good on that. It's fine. I ain't that pressed to watch the Eagles. I'll see the 31-10 score later. It's good. But I think a lot of people are like you. I think a lot of people are the same way, and that's why the NFL can get away with this because they know that they got us, man. They got all of us. But all right, let's talk about the Eagles themselves. Let's talk about the schedule. It's Christmas in May. We got the days. We knew the teams. We got the days and we got the times lined out. We didn't do this last year at this time. Now I'm going to give you the option, okay? Because we used to, for the first, 10 or so years of this thing, I used to make you do wins and losses down, go straight down, wins and losses. We can do it now, or we can wait until September. It is your call. Do you want to do wins and losses on the schedule? Okay.
I actually did it I don't, and I rarely do this. I did this at work a couple of days ago, where I just without much thought, and like I think the later it goes and free agency's done, draft is done, you kind of this is your team, and for me, I could rationalize these picks and like I don't know, take ebb and flow and everything else. So let's go.
All right, so
I have my notepad right here.
What's that? Oh, so
I have my notepad. Yeah.
Oh, so you do want to do it? All right, let's do it. All right, because I haven't done it. I haven't done this yet. So, all right, week 1, Green Bay. This is a quote unquote home game for the Eagles. This is in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Green Bay Packers. Eagles actually favored by 1.5 in this game.
Ow! Ow! This prognostication of this game is completely nonsensical. You can't.
Well,
like I don't. There,
you can't put
there is no basis. Just push it. So like I don't know. We'll say it's a 1 point. I will say, you know what? For argument's sake, I think they lose this game. I don't know. This is just a very coin flippy thing, and I still am. I need to see this team go through some adversity before I go all in. So this will be my test.
You're probably right. I will just say win because I am feeling optimistic. I'm not entirely sold on those young Packers receivers yet. But you're like if they lose this game, I won't be surprised in the least. But I'll just say a win in this case. But you're right, it's really a coin flip because no one has any idea what this team's going to look like in Sao Paulo in week 1. Week 2, home opener against the Falcons. 8:15. Kirk Cousins once again comes to Philadelphia for a night game. Who you got?
Oh, I got the Eagles. I've never been so sure about a thing in my life.
All right, Eagles get the dub. I agree. At the Saints, week 3, who you got?
I'll go Eagles here.
All right, so we both have wins on that one. At the Bucks, week 4, who you got?
Oh, I'm telling you, this for me, not to be dramatic, but I feel this is, and I think we discussed this offline. If this team has any sort of pride and has big expectation for the season, you smoke the Buccaneers for that playoff loss, revenge, whatever. It's not like it's like a couple years removed. It's like that was the last game you played last year. You got embarrassed
4 months ago. Yeah.
I'm feeling a little optimistic here, so I will say that, like I don't know, Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore rally their troops, not the coach, and they will win this game.
All right, so you have a win. I have a win. I have them going as of right now 4-0 into the bye. I think people are feeling really good about this team heading into the bye at a 4-0. But again, I'm saying right now, I think they lose to the Browns. I think week 6 versus the Browns on the road. I think that's when you get your loss.
I was seeing a lot of 14-3. I was like, oh my god, it must be schedule season to see the 14-3.
It's the time of year. So I got a loss against the Browns. So you got?
I have a win.
All right. At the Giants, week 7.
I have a win.
I have a win as well. At the Bengals, week 8.
I have a loss.
I have a loss as well. Yeah, I think this is a bad spot for them. Jaguars, home Sunday Night Football, return of Dougie P.
Oh, I have a win there.
That's a win for me too. Week 10 at Dallas. What do you got?
At Dallas, that's a loss.
Yeah, it's probably a loss. I'll mark them down as a loss.
I have 3 losses so far. Do you have 3?
You have 3 losses so far. You have 3. You have 3. I have 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So Commanders, home against the Commanders, the Thursday Night Football. Short week after the Cowboys game.
Short week.
Short week.
You know what? Yeah, the Commanders are terrible. I would say, like, I don't know. I mean, they're gonna they'll be late in the season. They'll be like, you'll have a battered rookie quarterback. Hell, you might even be hurt. So I'll go Eagles there.
Yeah, I'll go Eagles there as well. At the Rams, Sunday Night Football. So short week for the Commanders, and then again a long-ish week Sunday Night Football at LA for the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams are going to stink. They're not going to have 3 losses coming into December?
Week 13, you have 3 losses. I have 3 losses. I mean, again, it looks kind of favorable for the Eagles.
So that's 9-3. That's 9-3, I think.
It is 9-3 at that point. I believe.
Okay.
Yes, 9-3. I believe 9. 8-3. 8-3.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the Ravens.
That's a loss.
Yeah, I think that's a loss as well. The next week, home against those vaunted Carolina Panthers.
That's a win.
The Roku special. That's a dub. Steelers at home, week 15.
Ooh. I don't think the Steelers are going to be good. I don't like. So I'll go with the Eagles win there.
Okay. At the Commanders.
They're not going to sweep all these teams. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, they're either going to split against the Giants or the Commanders. And I say that they will split with the Giants because I think that Giants game at the end of the season will mean nothing.
So you have the win against the Commanders week 16 at the Commanders. Week 17 Cowboys here. Is that a dub?
That's a win. That will be for the division, and I feel that will give you the reason not to, I don't know, not to play the last game. So I think I have 5 losses.
Yeah, so you're gonna have the Giants with the loss. All right, so I am going to go back because I gotta stick another loss in here somewhere. I will go back and I will agree with you. I think that they will probably drop that. They'll probably drop that Packers game. So I'm gonna go back.
I'm telling you, man, like anyone who feels any sort of like either way towards that is crazy. It's the first game that's ever been played in Brazil. You have no idea how these players feel. Like this isn't flying to London. This is a completely different thing. So I expect a completely sloppy game from both ends. It will don't even try to play fantasy. Just be careful when you're playing fantasy and betting on this game. It's gonna be it's gonna be one for the ages, I believe. I'm not even trying to there's never been a game played here.
It's not even that being played in Brazil. Like that's not, to me, that's the problem. It's the first week of the season.
Yes.
It's not like going to London in week 7 where like you kind of know your personnel.
Teams are exhausted playing at home the first game. Like just imagine I don't know the Ross that you're gonna have to play in an international stadium the first time you've ever been there. Probably the first some of these players have ever been to this country. Like I'm telling you, I don't know the weather. I'm fascinated by this. I would have thought that they maybe would have had this game later in the season to let the players get wet, but I guess they're just saying, you know what, let's just throw them in there.
So we got to open Friday. Let's make this happen. Yeah, no, it's a weird, like you said, it's a weird scenario that I'm not sure. I know DraftKings has to have lines because you have to have lines for people to bet, but DraftKings has no idea. Like 1 point, Eagles being favored by 1.5 or 1.5, or the Packers being favored by 1.5. It's just a coin flip. No one knows. There's just no reason for me to say, oh, you know what, the Eagles really should be favored. I don't know.
No, I really have no idea. I don't know. Other than getting blown out 49-0, I don't know if you can really come out with any sort of opinion of the Eagles after this game, win or loss. I feel like this is just it's a borderline preseason game for me. I don't know. This is I don't know. I feel that I don't know, just the conditions and just the newness of it is going to throw this game a wrench in this game big time. But at least you get sorry, Rory, at least you get a long preparation for the Monday night game. That is almost a guaranteed win week 2.
So you have the Eagles at 12 wins. I have the Eagles at 12 wins. DraftKings as of right now has the Eagles over under at 10.5 wins. So you think that's a safe bet to bet the over on Eagles and number of wins this year at 10.5?
If they get 10 wins, everyone's getting fired. Well, the coach is getting fired. And I don't know, no, I feel 11 is the baseline. You can't I don't know, I would say 11 is a successful season. 12 is a successful season, an emphatic successful season, I think. Because I feel that, I don't know, the NFC, there isn't a dominant team. I feel like the 49ers are slowly starting to feel that players getting prodded off their team. I don't know, players wanting more money. I feel like they are kind of at the end of this run. Because at some point, you're you're not going to have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Knight. This will probably be the last season you do have them. So, I mean, Christian McCaffrey's getting mileage on him. The Cowboys have Zeke as their running back. I don't know what else to tell you. Like I don't know, but then you have the ascending teams like the Packers. I feel like the Lions are ascended already. I feel like they're at the top. I don't know what's coming out of the NFC South. Who's winning that crap division?
Atlanta, probably Atlanta. I mean, it has to be like by default. I mean, like everybody else in that division.
I really need to think of the teams that are going to make the playoffs because usually, like, you could find a couple teams, like I don't know, a couple teams that didn't make it last year. That you know what, you could see them making a bump. Are the Falcons going to make the playoffs out of just default?
Well, somebody has to win that division, so yeah. Like you might be flirting with a the Bears making the playoffs. Like I mean, like it's gonna be a team that's gonna be like it doesn't really kind of make a lot of sense.
Oh no! I can absolutely see if Caleb Williams is remotely that dude. I can absolutely see them making like I don't know surprise. No, that's going to be the team that a lot of people overshoot their shot in terms of expectations because like I don't know the rookie quarterback, all the new acquisitions, like I don't know, the very good draft. Because I don't so like other than the Bears, what sexy team is in the NFC? The Rams? No. I mean, the Seahawks are basically mid. They're just at that proverbial 8-9, 9-8 level. The Cardinals? No. And absolutely no one else from the NFC East. I mean, the Giants are going to be atrocious. Like, I don't know who's going to be worse, the Giants or the Commanders. It's going to be real close.
I think it's the Giants. I think like the Commanders did a couple of things this offseason. Like they got Bobby Wagner. They got maybe a couple little moves. They
got a rookie quarterback behind a bad line. I feel like I don't know. That's never good. But the Giants, they're probably going to start Drew Lock, and their starting running back is Devin Singletary, and their second best receiver is Jalen Hyatt, and their tight end is probably going to retire. Or is thinking about retiring. He's been thinking about retiring for 3 months. I'm telling that like they will be picking in the top 3 next season.
Yeah. Like there's not a lot in the NFC East outside of the Eagles and the Cowboys. Strength of schedule wise, I've seen a couple different projections of this based on how you want to lay it out. But the Eagles, according to what I saw, had the 10th easiest schedule based on opponents' win percentage last year, 49.1%. Eagles games versus teams, they only have they have 5 games versus teams that are projected to win 10 games or more. Cincinnati, Green Bay, Baltimore, and the 2 Dallas games, but none of those games are back-to-back. So they do not have 2 back-to-back games against quote-unquote, difficult teams or teams expected to make the playoffs this year. 6 1 p.m. games. 4 of those games are in the first 6 games or 6 weeks of the season. Not too many 1 o'clock games at home. I think there's like one 1 o'clock game at home in the first half of the season, that Giants game in week 7. So for those of you, the Browns game. I'm sorry, Browns game in week 6. So for those of you tailgating folks who'd like to get their stuff, get down there by 6 o'clock in the morning, I apologize. You're gonna have to do that stuff in December because it ain't gonna happen the first 2 weeks of the season. And the Eagles, most importantly to me, do not get on a plane after week 12. So week 13, you're at the Ravens, and you got Panthers and Steelers at home, at Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants. I mean, that's a really good way to kind of end the schedule. Basically, you have 6 straight weeks where you don't have.
It's the opposite of last season, where you had the murderer's row of games. You had the opposite. I don't even know if there's a murderer's row of anything. I mean, you have like I don't know in that sort of middle where you play the Bengals, the Cowboys on the road, and then you play the Ravens. I mean, that's your toughest stretch. I don't even consider that tough. Well, no. The schedule gods, once again, I think the Eagles have gotten thrown kind of a bone. And I'm telling you, man, there's no excuse to underachieve. There's zero. Like, I don't know. I know, like, maybe I am because I listened to the Green Light podcast with Brian Baldinger, and maybe, just maybe, me or we as an Eagles collective are underestimating the fact that one of the greatest centers of all time retired. I get I mean, he was on the team and I'm holding that in the back of my mind. However, you still have 4 of the 5, and apparently Kelsey was I don't know, calling all the audibles and Kyle calling all the protections, and that is a huge thing. So maybe that just falls apart. I'm sorry, there are still 4 out of 5 linemen left from arguably the top 3 line in the NFL. And you got Saquon Barkley. And you got A.J. Brown on a new deal. I can't remember a football team, period, that didn't have anyone coming in with a contract deal. No one. Ain't no, like, I mean, could someone could Darius Slay create a contract beef? Sure. Oh, I
guess.
care? No. Like, no, they have locked up everyone who is important enough. And it's rare. So now this coach just needs to stay the hell out of the way. Let Big Dom coach the team for all I care. And frankly, like, this is a really big season for Jalen Hurts because I don't think the table has been set for him to have a very, very good season.
No, this is a very huge season for Jalen Hurts. And again, like if you look at the schedule and like you said, if you look at the roster, like there really isn't any excuse for this not to be a good season. You got two adults, running the offense and defense. You have Kellen Moore and you have Vic Fangio, both huge upgrades over what you have last year. Everything. This is a setup as perfectly as you can for Nick Sirianni to have success this season. And if he doesn't, like you said, if he doesn't win 11 games, somebody's got some explaining to do. You got to go into Jeffrey Lurie's office and try to explain yourself. Try to save your job again, like you did last year, because there's no way that this team with this schedule and this roster and everything with that.
What is the weak in terms of personnel? What is the weakest link on the Eagles team?
It's still probably linebacker because you just don't know. Like, you just don't have any idea. Like you got. But
remember, this linebacker core last year had Kevin Byard in the secondary, and Jimmy B, and Reed Blank and White and Milk Toast, whatever the hell they called him, who sucked all last year. No, I'm telling you, like he was mega. Like no, the secondary just added to the misery of the linebacker. Did the linebackers really stink? They stunk out loud. They just stunk. Morrow, that dude was horrendous. Yeah, like I don't know, even
Nick Morrow.
Yeah, no, and like I don't know. And I mean, when Zach Cunningham was literally your savior, that was a problem. And maybe they've solidified the secondary. Who knows? Like, I mean, the jury is beyond still out on James Bradbury or frankly Slay at this point. Like, I think the biggest, I guess, question coming into mini camps and the training camps is who's lining up opposite Slay. Is it going to be Quinyon Mitchell? Is it going to be Cooper DeJean? Like, I don't like. That's the biggest thing. Other than that, how many big questions are there? I mean, can Cam Jurgens, a second-round player who doesn't – it's not like he doesn't have a pedigree. It's not like you're asking a seventh-round player, let's replace – like, he's been groomed for a year or two to be that guy. Be that guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, like I think, and to answer your other question, like I think it's probably going to be Quinyon Mitchell alongside opposite Slay on the outside. But yeah, like I think once you've solidified your secondary, I think you're probably like a little worse on the defensive line, but not. I don't say markedly. I mean, because you did lose. I mean, well, you lost a huge edge rusher in Hassan Reddick, and you lost, a big interior piece in Fletcher Cox. But you signed the guy, like you signed.
You signed Bryce up. And you're asking these young players to step up. Period. And you're not asking third round guys. You're asking your top 10 pick from last year and a guy that was considered to be a lock to be a decent lineman. And Jordan Davis, for me, might have the biggest pressure on him on the defense.
Yeah,
because I feel like you need that run stuffer to kind of like, I don't know, like he's the guy that makes the Nakobe Dean's lives, the Kevin White, I keep forgetting he's on the team, the Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s. I think that, like, I don't know. And also I feel the Eagles look like a perfect landing spot for that free agent that's just chilling. I mean, the Ndamukong Suh Linval Joseph special. Hopefully they turn out better than Kevin Byard. Sorry for picking on that dude. But no, I feel like the names are like Calais Campbell. It's not Jamal Adams. Get Jamal Adams out of here. I don't want him. But like, I can feel a Calais Campbell who's never won a ring could be like, you know what? Let me tag along and like, I don't know, let me be a rotation guy.
And according to reports, the Eagles have like $27 million in cap space. I have no idea how, but they have $27 million in cap space. If they need to sign those guys, they need to figure out some super duper futuristic extension for somebody, even though like literally everybody but Dallas Goedert is locked up for like till 2030. So like I really
this is why we like the Netflix money. Bring all the monies in, so this cap can be $400 million. So you can sign Saquon Barkley to a $25 million contract if he gets 2,000 yards.
Yeah, so you're okay signing your running back to big contracts with the Netflix money. I see how it is. All right. Because before you didn't like signing guys to big running backs to big contracts.
Oh no, like you're not going to be like money. At some point. I'm interested to see like who, because there aren't many dudes you want to chop next season, right? Other than like the Slays, the Brad, but like you'll need like
Graham's, Graham's gone, Slay is gone. I imagine Bradbury's gone sometime.
Like, is there a guy off this line that's going to be gone, or is this like the no? You can't. Dickerson. Like, it's weird. I mean, like there aren't like this is the team you are going to have essentially for the next 2 years. I mean, I feel at some point you will have to make a decision on whether you want to keep Dallas Goedert long term. The answer is probably no. I feel that like I don't know. It's almost I would say not a foregone, but it's a very good chance that they will draft a tight end in the first 2 rounds next season. It's just the economics of it. But the good thing about being ahead of the secondary thing is you don't need to draft any second. Like I mean, if Cooper and Quinyon are any good, you're good for like. Do you want to draft a slot corner? Sure. Like I don't know, but then I think you just really just go into just I don't know. I feel their economics are. You know what? We can't spend $35 million on defensive linemen. That's just not our thing. We don't want to pay. We will pay 25 for the linemen, and that works out well. So what? We're just going to draft the young dudes, get them at rookie deals, and figure it out later. And I think that's very smart because it's going to be hard. Like the Cowboys. I mean, how do you pay Dak and Micah and CD? You need that Netflix check to cash like tomorrow.
I mean, you can pay them, and then you just get Zeke Elliott as your running back.
You'll have to bring back Michael Gallup as your number one or the number 2 receiver.
Yeah, you just have just a bunch of wash dudes as your other skill positions when you have that big kind of money. All right, the most important part of the schedule, though, the best road trips. We're going to leave Sao Paulo out of this because Sao Paulo is, I guess, technically an home game, and it's kind of cost prohibitive for just about everybody. But best road trip. So if you, Kristen, if you were ranking these in terms of road trips, the best road trips for Eagles fans to go on, I assume New Orleans would be number 1.
Yeah. I think this is assuming that I have never been on a road trip, or no, that I have never been to any of these cities in my life. I would say, you know what, New Orleans is undoubtedly number 1.
What's number 2?
Ooh, I would say, I really think the road cities this year are kind of like I would say LA, right?
Yeah, I think LA is 2. I think it's New Orleans 1. I think LA is number 2. And like I said, the road city, like you said, the road cities aren't that great. So I guess if you just put everything in a bucket, I'd say Dallas is 3.
Yeah,
just because of the way it is. Yeah, so you got Dallas 3. I have Tampa 4 and Cincinnati 5. You can flip them, but I mean, No.
Keep Dallas, the Tampa 4. Like I don't know. I've been to Tampa a few times. It's a competent city. All due respect to Cincinnati, I'm not a Chili fan. So, and once again, I asked it. What else is there to do other than go to the Bengals game in Cincinnati?
Eat chili. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Like there ain't a whole lot to do. Like I don't know, when is that Bengals game? That Bengals game is so you can't even see the Reds because the Reds won't be playing baseball by that point. So I'm not even sure I can tell you what else to do. Maybe University of Cincinnati football is playing.
No, I would say, you know what? An underrated trip would if you've never been to Tampa, it's a nice town. It's easy to get to. Like, I don't know. Stadium's very nice. Like, I don't know. It's not in the middle of anywhere. You got to drive. Like, it's Florida. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, Tampa, that stadium is very underrated, and you'll get a nice crowd. You always get like the good Eagles crowds in Florida because it's just hot. I mean, it might be too hot, frankly, because you're going to get that game in September. Humidity's probably going to be through the roof. So I don't know, but Tampa in general wouldn't be a bad city to go, a game to go to.
Yeah, I think we can agree though that the I guess the quote unquote worst three of the bunch are Baltimore, New York, and Washington. Again, no disrespect to Baltimore, just like just compared to the other cities, it's just Baltimore.
Will Washington always be butt naked last in every city?
What else? What city would be worse to go to than Washington? Like
I don't. It's one of those. It's one of those takes where I don't even think it's over the top. It's terrible. No. It's a terrible area. Like there's literally nothing there. It takes 30 minutes. I'm not exaggerating because I've done it. It takes 20 to 25 minutes to walk from FedEx Field to the closest public transportation system. If you drive there, it's not close to anything. It's literally in the middle. Yeah. No, I mean it's not as far as MetLife where it feels like you're in another city when you're parking in MetLife. But it's off the highway. It's a cruddy stadium. I could say it's probably the worst arena stadium in sports. And I'm not exaggerating.
No. I know. I think it beats out Oakland Coliseum, but I think barely.
Sorry, I'm not even counting Oakland as a franchise or what's happening in Oakland is embarrassing. I don't even know what's happening. Just let them go. This is let them do whatever. What is the point of keeping them in Oakland in front of 400 people? Literally, there's 4,000 people at every game.
Not even. No, they have a lease, and they got to honor the lease. I mean, again, I don't know why you can't come to some sort of agreement with the city, but it's like, come on, man.
This looks like the Cleveland Indians in Major League. It is embarrassing.
Yeah, no, this is literally the Cleveland Indians. I mean, because now Oakland's not bad. I think they're 4 games out. They're in the playoff race. Like this is going to be the Cleveland Indians all together. We're going to see in Oakland. We could see an Oakland baseball team that's in the playoffs and playing baseball. They're 5.5 games out of first in the ALS. They might be playing playoff games in front of
I'm not even saying the A's are not in fault for a lot of this, but God, just count just cut the cord, Oakland. Let them move. I don't know. Let them give you some money. I don't let Vegas give you some money because I'm damn sure the A's ain't got none.
No, because I think they're in Sacramento next few years, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is.
What is this? This is like a relocation of a franchise mode. I'm telling this is the sorriest thing I've ever seen in sports. It's pretty bad. It's
very bad. All right, we got some really good games though to talk about. Really good games. Week 1, Ravens Chiefs, the AFC Championship rematch. We got that week 1. That's the Thursday night football season opener, the kickoff game. You got your Tom Brady Fox debut week 1 as well. Cowboys versus Browns, Jets Niners on Monday Night Football. The NFL's loaded up week 1 with some really good games this year. Week 2, you got Bengals Chiefs, Bills Dolphins. Thanksgiving, we get Bears Lions, which should be a good one. Giants Cowboys, which should be a not good one. And Dolphins Packers, which should be a pretty entertaining game. We talked about the Christmas game. Chiefs Steelers. We get Chiefs Niners, their rematch. I believe that's week 9 of the season. Oh, I'm sorry, week 7 of the season. So we got some really, really good games to look forward to. We'll talk more about them in the coming weeks and months here on the Broad Street Line on 106.5 FM, WPPM LP Philadelphia. Let's talk some basketball. Boston advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. Donovan Mitchell, rumors that he is unhappy in Cleveland. He came out on Thursday, said that was cap. I don't care. I need the pipe dream of Donovan Mitchell to come to Philadelphia to come to fruition because I need something to hang my hat on that's not Pascal Siakam or Jimmy Butler or Paul George.
Remember that golden that pot of luck at the end of the rainbow, that $60 million cast is $60 million ain't the same when you have to give it to I don't know, Jimmy Coffee Maker, and I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of we might get Kyle Kuzma. If Carl Kuzma is on this basketball team, I won't watch it. Period. I will not this. No, it's not even he is the. I can't think of a worse player to put in Philadelphia. He would not be able to handle these boos the first minute he would get these boos, he would flip these players and he would start posting on social media. He's obviously the worst athlete you could possibly put in. Like he's a looter and a riot scorer, and those dudes don't win you anything. Like that's why I hear about these Brandon Ingram things, and I'm like, what else does Brandon Ingram give you other than above average scoring? I don't think he's this crazy elite scorer. I mean, like, is he a nice third option? Is he guarding the best player on the team? Like you need that. And I'm not trying to discount his offense, but what do you need to give? Like, what's Brandon Ingram making? And if you don't need to give Brandon Ingram an extension, and you basically plays out this contract that he has, but what are you giving the Pelicans of any value? When you throw these dudes out here, like the dudes that are looking to get traded, the Jimmies, the Brandon Ingrams, the Mikal Bridgeses. You don't have anything. You don't have any players to give these teams. So what are you giving them? Like five picks?
It's draft picks. You're going to give them.
Okay.
You're going to have to give them at least 3 first-round draft picks to get most of these guys.
Unprotected.
Making lightly protected.
Okay.
Top 4 protected or whatever. There. Brandon Ingram's making $36 million next year. Brandon Ingram, but like Brandon Ingram, he don't really shoot. I mean, he doesn't shoot well. Like he's a guy. He's just a athletic dude, as Charles Barkley would say, that just kind of gets you buckets. Just like Pascal Siakam. I mean, I think Brandon Ingram has more of a bag than Pascal Siakam, but those dudes, these are just dudes who score. I mean, you can find guys who can score. How cool is like the budget version of those dudes? Like,
I see Pascal Siakam, and I'm just like, what does he do? I know he was on a championship team. He was a young dude on that team. They weren't asking him to do a lot. I just ask, if Pascal Siakam is a top 2-3 player on a team that's asking a lot out of him, does he deliver? And I would say probably not. Same for Brandon Ingram. I wouldn't say that for Bridges. I don't know yet. Hell no to Kyle Kuzma. Get him out of here. I am telling you. No to Kyle. Like, I don't like. Give me more players. Give me more players. Who else I can say no to? Because that's why, man. The pickets are getting slim, man. You better have 4 contingency plans, because you're probably not going to get option 1, 2, or 3.
The thing is, like Siakam's going to cost you 40. Ingram's going to cost you, close to 40 or whatever like that. Like, I don't have a problem with those guys as third options. I have a problem with those guys as third options at $40 million. I mean, that's the issue. Like, paying them that much money. Like, if you want to convince yourself that Kyle Kuzma is the guy, and we know it's Kyle, but you want to convince yourself that Kyle Kuzma is the guy, like the third guy, and he's part of it's because he's only going to make $20 million. All right, fine, I guess. I mean, I don't like it, but I mean, like, I'd rather pay him $20 million than pay some of these other dudes 40. I mean, if that makes you sleep better at night.
Yeah, sure. No, I'll tell you, like like you'll see other than like the Warriors, because they don't count. But a lot of these teams that have won championships, their third options didn't cost a lot of money. Like if you look at the Raptors, those seasons, their third best player was probably Van Fleet, and he was on a rookie deal. Third best player on the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon. He's better than Porter. I mean, even Porter. Right. Porter makes 25, 30. Like, you can't be spending a ton of money on your on your third option.
No, it's just absolutely not.
Because that gives you less money to get the 4th and 5th dudes that need to be rock solid.
Right. Yeah. So the Sixers are gonna have to work a little magic in order to get that third option, because it doesn't look like some cost friendly guys are out there on the market, or will be out there, are available for the Sixers given the assets that they have. Denver fought back from their 0-2 deficit against the Wolves, and they have taken control of their series. Dallas up in their series versus OKC, and the Knicks look to be in control of their series against the Pacers. Atlanta Hawks have landed the number 1 pick in what might be the worst draft I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you know. Have you looked at this NBA draft class? It is a terrible draft class. It is awful. I implore you, between now and next week, just take like 5 minutes and look at these dudes. You might know 3 of them. You might know 3.
3? I know 1. His name is Bronny. And Zach Edey. That's it.
Yeah, and Zach Edey. Yeah, this is an awful draft class. I feel bad for the Hawks. I mean, they got the number 1 pick a year too early because I know Cooper Flagg, but he's next year. He ain't coming out this year. I know that kid. He's not gonna be a Hawk. Well, he might be a Hawk because Hawks might be bad again next year. But that's enough for us. We don't have any time to talk wrestling. Hopefully, we will get to that next week, and we will have some more basketball to talk about as well. But until then, we are out of here. Mr. Domingo, take us out, please.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
See you guys.